Hey, how's it going, everybody? Geeky Gambit here, and Loki Episode 2 is officially streaming on Disney Plus. And I would just like to say I'm really loving this momentum that it's got going on right now. I feel like so much has happened, and we've only gotten the first two episodes. It's crazy as it compared to the likes of WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's really blowing me away. That being said, spoiler alert for Loki Episode 2. Okay? Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the episode yet, go ahead, get on out of here, come back, and we'll talk about it when you get back. Alright, now that all those slackers are out of the way, let's talk about it. First off, I would just like to say props to me for guessing the variant to be Lady Loki. I know. Thank you. I did, however, certainly not expect it to happen so fast. I mean, episode 2, those didn't see that one coming. I kind of expected the reveal to be maybe episode 3, possibly even 4. But episode 2, come on, Marvel, do your thing. Since it did happen in episode 2, it did give me a couple more theories that I wouldn't have had if it, came further down the line. Something I do expect to happen in next week's episode is a hard open. They get right into it. They use the momentum that they've already built from the ending of this episode and just take off with it right there. The last thing that we see in this episode is both our Loki and Lady Loki traveling through the time portal, I suppose, to where we don't know. One of the places I do believe that they could have gone is actually straight back to the TVA headquarters, okay? And hear me out about this. She sent off all of these bombs to different select points in time that probably have a huge impact. Well, we know that it has a huge impact as we watch all of the timeline streams go up to the red line, which would be catastrophic for the TVA. So if you think about it, the TVA members that are currently at the headquarters are probably scrambling, freaking out, trying to get to these locations. Like at one point you even see Judge Renslayer picking up her staff and ready to go. They're all traveling to those locations trying to fix them as soon as possible. So because of that, the TVA is actually completely, maybe not completely, but extremely vulnerable because of the lack of people there. Now, as to why she would like to take down the TVA, that takes a little bit more theory juice, okay? I actually think there's a couple reasons of why she would want to take down the TVA. I mean, they could go the, I guess not obvious route, the different route than I would personally go, and that's the one where, oh, she's just super spiteful. Maybe they erased her timeline and now she's super upset about it, so she's trying to get back at them for, use the revenge storyline. Now, while this is possible, I find it much more plausible and much more likely, and honestly much more interesting if they go the route that the TVA is actually super nefarious. I mean, think about it. They literally disintegrate potentially billions of people just because they get out of line in some way. I think the timekeepers are so hell-bent on keeping this sacred timeline, not to protect people, but to actually, stay in power, stay in control. Now, that's not to say that the Nexus events or the Nexus War is a good thing, but I would say that killing billions of people isn't really the way to go about that to cancel that out. So we do find out this episode for sure that once the timelines start to variate, start to create the variance, once they reach that red line, they're unable to be reset after that point. So I bring this up because that kind of brings a little bit more cadence to why I believe that the TVA headquarters will very much be empty. It proves that this is a serious threat for them. They would want to correct this as soon as possible before anything crazy seems to happen. Now, sticking to this theory and assuming that I am correct, I don't believe that our duo of Lokis will actually succeed in taking down the TVA during this episode. I mean, obviously it's only episode 3, so I'm sure they will go in there, probably get the upper hand on whatever remaining TVA agents are there, but if it's in terms of trying to find the timekeepers, I don't think they actually will. Now, also at this point, our Loki will also likely be following along with Lady Loki, doing whatever she does, just because he actually probably thinks that he was correct and he was right all along, that she actually does want to overthrow and take power from the timekeepers and from the TVA. Now, I would also like to note that some of you might be saying, well, during the episode, the Minuteman that Lady Loki had control over during the episode stated that she gave away the information of where the timekeepers are, so why would they be heading back to the TVA in search for the timekeepers if she knew where they were? Well, there's two reasons why this is possible. One, don't know if I really believe that a random Minuteman would know where the timekeepers are when earlier in the episode Morbius stated that he doesn't know. But also, even if that is the case, if they did know, one, like, it could be at the TVA. Also very unlikely, but if she did say the correct location of where the timekeepers are, this theory still works. Just switch the TVA headquarters with where the timekeepers actually are. So after their attempt and after they inevitably fail, I do believe that they will retreat, regroup, and what will possibly be, my personal opinion of what it'll be at least, is they will retreat to the planet Vormir. And I simply say this just because of during the trailer we get a little snippet of both of them sitting on like a rock or a log that appears to be on Vormir. Now, even if it isn't Vormir, I still believe that this is the scene that we will see. Now, I believe during this moment, Lady Loki will get her backstory. She will likely explain why the TVA is actually evil. There's also a possibility that we could get a name drop of the actual big bad of the show, and I'm talking about my main man, Kang. We do know for sure that Kang will be showing up in Ant-Man Quantumania, and he will be played by Jonathan Majors. But what's to say that he doesn't show up, or at the very least be teased here in Loki? I mean, that's kind of what Marvel does. They like to sprinkle in little teases during all of their products, right? I believe that there's actually a lot of reasonings of why he could show up here, and that's because, one, Kang is like really the main big bad when it comes to time travel or anything like that. Also, there are so many variants, really like different versions of Kang, that really he could show up specifically as Immortus, because Immortus was shown in the comics to actually work with the TVA, so that provides a little cadence. And let's say that the Lokis are successful and they do beat Immortus. That doesn't even matter, because he could still show up as Kang the Conqueror in Ant-Man Quantumania. Also, a little bonus theory here, okay? So let's say that Kang is the big bad in Loki, okay? And then let's go a little bit further, and let's say that the TVA headquarters is located inside the quantum realm, okay? So, because of that, if they do succeed in causing all of this chaos, that the root of the chaos would be in the quantum realm. And who knows better about the quantum realm than Scott Lang and the rest of the Pyms? So that not only sets up Ant-Man and the Wasp, but it also would set up the multiverse of madness, because they broke off the multiverse and it happened in the quantum realm. Now, if we're looking at the whole picture here, and I'm talking like 5 years down the road in the MCU, I believe that it's very likely that this show will potentially end with the breaking of the multiverse, the timelines branching off, redlining, causing chaos initially and leading into war, but it will end with our morally just heroes actually trying to find a way to coexist with the multiverses, as opposed to making them one, colliding into one. And I do believe that we'll need very genius minds for this to work, such as Reed Richards, Victor Von Doom, Doctor Strange, and that's why I say 5 years down the road, because obviously Doom and Reed Richards aren't a part of the MCU yet. Also, something I would like to see in episode 3 is, what if at some point during the episode the Lady Loki and our Loki kind of go around all the multiverses or all the timelines that she broke off, searching for other versions of Loki. They could totally do a whole recruitment montage, kind of like how we saw way back when in X-Men First Class. I personally think that would be like super cool. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching. If you have any of your own theories, please feel free to put them down in the comment section below. I would love to hear all about them. And don't forget to like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe for some more geeky goodness, and until then, I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.